Good evening, everybody. We're about to begin the committee meeting on student achievement and school innovation of the Board of School Directors. Will the meeting please come to order, and will the secretary please call the roll?
Director Gokul Gandhi has asked to be excused. Director Leonard.
Present.
Director O'Halloran has asked to be excused. President Herndon has temporarily appointed Director Zombor to serve on this committee. Director Zombor.
Present.
And Chair Seamson.
Present.
There are 3 members present.
Thank you, Director Zombor, for stepping in to give us a quorum. The chair will now ask the secretary to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. The chair invites any members of the audience who wish to participate to do so and asks that those of us who do not wish to participate please remain silent during the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This meeting is being conducted in person from the Central Services Building. In order to allow as much public access and participation as possible, this meeting is also being broadcast via live stream on the MPS website or on the MPS YouTube stream, the links to which may be found on the MPS website on the broadcast page. Before we begin tonight's meeting, we have a short announcement regarding interpretation services for the Spanish-speaking members of our audience.
Buenas tardes y bienvenidos a la Junta Escolar de las Escuelas Públicas de Milwaukee. Si desea escuchar esta reunión en español, por favor llame al 312-626-6799. Nuevamente, 312-626-6799. E introduzca el número de reunión 608-130-5362. Nuevamente, el número de reunión es 608-130-5362. Gracias.
Thank you very much. For each of our items of business, we will hold a discussion and public hearing. If you wish to speak, please fill out a speaker slip and bring it to our secretary, Ms. Koala. Virtual speakers are asked to remain on the platform until you are called upon. After speaking, virtual speakers may follow the rest of the meeting using the broadcast information previously mentioned. When you are called upon to speak, please state your name and spell your last name for the record. For the sake of fairness and to give everyone a chance to speak, the chair reserves the right to limit the length of time allowed to any one speaker. Written testimony will be accepted for transmittal to the board. Send this testimony to the Office of Board Governance, P.O. Box 2181, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 53201-2181, or fax to 414-475-8071, or email it to governance@milwaukee.k12.wi.us. Just as a reminder, Robert's Rules of Order dictates that all comments should be directed to the chair of the committee. Also, any questions or requests, including those from the public, committee members, or the administration, are to be directed toward the chair, who will determine the most efficient way to address them. For the safety of all and to ensure the good order of the meeting, harassment or intimidation tactics of any kind will not be tolerated. Anyone who engages in such harassing or intimidating words or actions will immediately be asked to cease. If such behavior continues, a recess will be called and the offending parties will be removed from the meeting. Anyone ejected from the meeting may continue to listen to the meeting or access the agenda items online. However, the individual will not be allowed to rejoin the meeting. Also, no one other than members of the board, designated staff, and those who have been invited to present or participate in items of business will be allowed on stage before, during, or after meetings of the board and its committees. Finally, for our listening audience, if you wish to access this evening's agenda items and attachments online, you may do so by visiting the meetings, agendas, and minutes page of the MPS website. Now let's begin. Madam Secretary, item 1.
Item 1 is a report with possible action on the regional showcase for the East Region. This is an informational item, and although it has been noticed for possible action, no action is required.
Would administration please present this item?
Madam Chair and members of the committee, Keith Posley, Superintendent of Schools. It gives me great pleasure this evening to introduce our regional showcase featuring the East Region this month. I have with me Mr. Miguel Sanchez, Regional Superintendent of the East Region, and Principals Tyrone Nichols from Cass Street School and Teodis Caldwell from O.W. Holmes to join us in presenting this item. We look forward to your feedback and any questions that you may have regarding the showcase. So without further delay, I will turn it over to Miguel Sanchez to present this month's regional showcase. Mr. Sanchez.
Thank you, sir. Madam Chair, members of the committee, Miguel Sanchez, Regional Superintendent for the East Region. In the East Region, we are a family of 26 schools across 27 sites. We serve around 11,053 children, nearly 800 children above our third Friday number, which was 10,254. We are home to more than up to 50% of the Montessori schools in the district, home to schools that have many English language learners, many programs that have traditional schools, a charter school. Over 20 languages are spoken in our region. We're very proud of welcoming all the families that come in and come out day in and day out. So in the region, we're very proud to serve you. My name is Mr. Sanchez, Regional Superintendent, and also Mrs. Feliz Bill, our Instructional Leadership Director. So remember, we anchored the work with the 5 priorities, and today we will see a presentation that are based on the 5 priorities for success in the district. Those are the schools that we have in the region. We go along the shores of Lake Michigan from north to south, then 11,053 students year to date. Our historical attendance is trending up. We are recovering from what we know there was a terrible epidemic in the U.S., but you could see now the numbers are coming up. We're bouncing very well. And we attribute our attendance to welcoming schools for children, parents, and staff, and diverse programming that includes after-school activities. Also, as you can see, our historical suspension rate is coming down, and we attribute that to restorative practices, PBIS, essential aid, and most importantly, culturally responsive pedagogy and practices for our children and families. So now I'm going to pass it along to Mr. Tyrone Nichols, proud principal of Cass Street Elementary.
Good evening. Good evening, Madam Chair, members of the committee, Dr. Posley. I am the proud principal of Cass Street School, Tyrone Nichols, and proud to say that I've been at Cass Street School for 14 years now. We are an amazing K-8 school in the East Region, right off of Brady Street. Our enrollment, about 303 students, which is 344 that we've served this school year. That enrollment has increased by 23 students since third Friday. Attendance, we have economically disadvantaged students, 88.4%, so it's a very challenging population that we work with, along with 17.5% having disabilities. You can see the demographics. There's some diversity, and we're working with our enrollment team to try to increase the diversity in our school. Data spotlight, 84.8% attendance rate, which is not anything to brag about, but it is an increase of 2.4% from last school year, and we're working very hard as a team to increase our attendance. We have incentives every month, weekly, lots of activities going on with our team, a PBIS team, our assistant principal, our parent coordinator, to increase our attendance. Our suspension rate, we're very proud of this spotlight. Suspension rate is 9%, which is nearly 5% decrease from last school year at this time. We are very proud, as a highlight, our early literacy is amazing. One of our teachers is here now that works with our early literacy group. We began the year in the fall, 63% of those students were significantly below on STAR testing, which was in the red. We decreased that to 6.9% of those students in the red. So we're very proud of that fact. Moving right along. Highlights and points of pride for us. We're a very proud school. We display that pride daily and weekly. First of all, we have a dedicated team of educators, many of them here tonight, and I'm proud to say for the first time in many years we have 0 vacancies at Cass Street School. So that's a big point of pride for us, that we've interviewed and filled our vacancies. And we're getting more and more teachers applying to work at Cass Street School. Tutoring and volunteering is a major point of pride for us. We have tutoring programs through the Wisconsin Reading Corps, Forward Scholars, which will be starting this fall. We just got approval from Dr. Posley just yesterday for Forward Scholars to begin a tutoring program at our school this fall. And we have several community members that are volunteering and tutoring our students daily. Increased community partnership is a big point of pride for us. Our community partners list is extremely extensive. We have Rockwell Automation, Tri-City National Bank, Brady Street Bid, Big Brothers Big Sisters Urban Ecology Center, Milwaukee Public Museum, Wisconsin Reading Corps, Forward Scholars, St. Rita Square, Jericho Church Without Walls, New Bethel Church, Sharp Literacy, Marquette University, Marquette High School, WellPoint Care Network, Boys and Girls Club, Yogi's Magical Hands, and Wauwatosa Women's Club, to name a few. As we continue to work hard to increase what we're doing at Cass Street, these partners play a major role in that. We have great increased financial donations where Rockwell has spent a large amount of money to help remodel our STEM lab and our Project Lead the Way lab. Tri-City National Bank funds all of our urban ecology field trips. They're fully funded. The Brady Street Bid helps us with school-wide programming and incentives. Specific business partners on Brady Street fund our entire athletic program at our school. All of the $300 to $400 registration fees are paid by businesses on Brady Street so that our students can participate in sports. Private donations as well. We have family members and community members that make private donations that help us with incentives and events. And another point of pride for us, we have a remodeled STEM lab, Project Lead the Way lab, beautifully remodeled. Also, we were just awarded the schoolyard redevelopment grant, which is a major redevelopment, over $1 million redevelopment for our playground, which will be complete in a couple of years. An extensive list of extracurricular activities to include basketball. We have 4 teams, flag football, soccer, track and field, tennis, volleyball, and cheerleading, 2 cheerleading squads at Cass Street. And our most amazing point of pride for us is that our school on the state report card meets expectations for the first time in over 15 years. Thank you.
Hello, Madam Chair, committee members. My name is Teodus Caldwell, and I am the proud principal of Oliver Wendell Home School. That's located in the East Region, in the South Harambe area, 2463 North Buffum Street, here in the great city of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I have with me 2 students who will share their experiences later on at homes, and I will introduce them. We have Marianne Adams. Raise your hand. And behind Marianne, we have Kyle Rogers. Omarion has been with us since K4, and his mom was one of our morning greeters, and for several years, and when the opportunity presented herself, she is now one of our staff members. So it's great. She works with our K5 students in our full-day K5 classroom and has been doing a great job. As you look at the slides, you will see, I want to bring to your attention our STAR data. There has been over a 10% decrease in the number of home students who are significantly below, which is 2 or more grades below. So we've made a definite impact to ensure that our students are learning. The families at home work very hard and intentionally with staff to improve student performance as evidenced by the slides. Holmes is a school where we understand we must support the development of the whole child, so it is not common to see children in conversation with the engineer, the cook staff, or across grade levels. Our school staff work collaboratively to support 28.2% students with special needs. The collaboration between the special education and regular education teacher allows our staff the opportunity to create lessons to provide explicit differentiated instruction that focuses on meeting the needs of all of our students in small group settings. We are a Verizon Innovative Learning School. With the Vills coach, Mr. Morris, even though his position is no longer funded, we are working on creative ways to continue the work he has started to blend technology with traditional teaching practices that support differentiated learning. We are thankful for our many partnerships because they support us to ensure that our families have access to resources and experiences that they may not normally take advantage of. Our partner with the United Way and Milwaukee Public Museum gifted us, all the families and staff, free museum memberships. Also, our students recently attended their groundbreaking event. Also, Greater Milwaukee Urban League has allowed our students to experience job preparation and citizenship. When it comes to a staff who cares about students as if they are their own, when it comes to a group of people and family who work together for the betterment of our students academically and socially, where opportunities to be supported that go beyond the classroom, I want to share with you, there's no place like Holmes.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, Miguel Sanchez, Regional Superintendent for the East Region. At this time, we're going to have testimony for some of the children that they came in a company. Before that, I would be remiss if I don't thank the people from our East Region that came to celebrate this showcase, and also particularly the members of the drum line from Parkside Elementary and teacher Ms. Benavides from Bogota, Colombia. Thank you very much for being here tonight.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, Dr. Posley, I present to you an 8th grader from Cass Street School, Ms. Majuma Omar, who has attended Cass Street since 1st grade.
Hello and good afternoon. My name is Majuma Omar. I'm in 8th grade. My favorite subject is math because I think the subject's the easiest one I have. I thank Ms. Edwards for teaching me very well and made my grades grow. I'm happy that I'm passing this subject since we mostly need math for everything, like careers, stores, and even some things that doesn't include math. 3 things I love about Cass Street School is about the staff, the hallway designs, and diversity. The staff in Cass Street are caring, helpful, and on task. They make sure that the school is safe and strong. I also think the hallway design is something that catches people's eyes. It's really creative in my opinion and very inspiring. Also, the diversity here at Cass Street School is actually good. I started this school since 1st grade, and I still love the things that teachers do for us. I watched the school develop as I grew. This is my last year to be at Cass Street School, and I want to thank Mr. Nichols for keeping the school safe and sound. And Cass Street will always be on time, on task, and on a mission.
Thank you, Majuma. Madam Chair, members of the committee, Dr. Posley, I present to you Alvier Taylor, 6th grade, Cass Street School since he was in 1st grade.
Hello and good afternoon. My name is Alvier Taylor. My favorite subject is history because I like the books that we read that give us information about the past, and I also like the videos that we watch in history that give us even more information. The 3 things I love about Cass Street School is the teachers, the fun events, and the students.
Madam Chair and committee members, I want to present to you Omarion Adams. Omarion is our former student council representative. I will allow him to speak, let him speak at this time.
Good afternoon. My name is Omarion Adams, ADAMS. I'm in 8th grade and will be attending Rufus King High School in the fall. Leadership at our school, there's no place like Oliver Wendell Holmes, starting from the principals, the teachers, and parents. They all care and go beyond to help all students to get the best education by being there when they need help, accepting anyone and everyone is welcome to Holmes School no matter what their circumstances are. Creativity. Holmes has so much to offer, like the tech team, Project Ready, CLC, Youth Council, Student Council, and so the students can be heard. Network of school improvement, and so much more. I am involved in several activities, and it makes me more prepared for high school. Thank you.
And his mother's in the audience. Oh, Dad is in the audience. So, Madam Chair, committee members want to introduce Kyle Rogers, one of our 8th grade students. Kyle is our tech person in the building. I go to him when I need support with technology.
Good afternoon. My name is Kyle Rogers, Rogers. I'm an 8th grader that attends Oliver Wendell Holmes. Oliver Wendell Holmes is an amazing school to attend because the staff at Oliver Wendell Holmes, the staff is like a family. Someone is always ready to lend a helping hand. The Staff also always makes learning fun with hands-on activities. Oliver Wendell Homes also have classes that teaches you lots of advanced things. Some of these classes are Tech Team, NSI, and Project Ready. These classes have prepared me for my transition to high school. This is why Oliver Wendell Homes is such a great school.
First rule, press the button. Madam Chair, members of the committee. Miguel Sanchez, Regional Superintendent for the East Region. I think we have another person that would like to address you at this time. Calling once, calling, yeah, go ahead.
I believe this may be Claudia Heller.
Yeah,
Okay.
she's coming along.
Wonderful. Awesome. It's our favorite thing.
And I would like to bring this to your attention. Mrs. Claudia Heller was the State of Wisconsin Teacher of the Year for 2023.
Congratulations. It's such a pleasure to have you join us tonight. That's okay.
Should we start it? No. Okay. My home country is Malaysia, and yeah.
When did you come here?
I come here when I was 2 or 3.
Hi, my name is Samia Popok. I'm from Afghanistan. I'm in 7th grade. I came to United States when I was 10 years old. I started Parkside School from 5th grade. I'm in 7th grade now.
Hi, my name is Zia, and I'm in 6th grade right now. I started Parkside School when I was 10. Now I'm in 6th grade. I started at 4th grade.
Hi, my name is Maria. I'm from Congo. I speak French. I came here when I was 8. I was in 3rd grade. Now I'm in 5th grade. Hi, my name is Anshita. I was born here. I'm in 5th grade. I'm 10 years old. I started school in 4th grade.
Hi, my name is Salima, and I'm 9 years old. I started school when I was 6 years old.
So today we are going to share a few of our joys at Parkside School. When we interviewed for this meeting, and when I interviewed students for this meeting, students classified as multilingual learners had so many glows to highlight about their time at Parkside.
First off, students noted the opportunities they had at Parkside. Some of them commented on previous schools, both public and private, in and out of Milwaukee, lacking some of the following opportunities that in turn they are fortunate to have on a daily or weekly basis.
High on the list, we find specials. At Parkside, we have art, music, dance, library, and physical education every week. We know that this is not the case at all schools, and we know that we are very lucky. Some of the comments shared about these specials include:
In gym class, I love exercising while playing fun games with Mr. Lidwan. I feel strong. We also get to hang out with our friends.
In
art class. I love being creative and hanging out with my friends and talking art. The At the beginning, I create something and it doesn't look good, but I keep trying and create more, and then after many tries, I get better. It feels so amazing. In dance class, I love spinning and moving my body. It makes me feel so happy. The music we dance to is inspiring, and the moves we learn can be challenging, but we get a lot of practice.
In music class, we get to learn how to play the recorder, and we get karate built as we learn new songs, and we get to new levels. It's a little bit challenging.
Not surprising, the list of opportunities continued as electives. We know that not all schools give their students choices and opportunities, and we are very thankful for that.
For example, we just start Project Lead the Way program this year. Students report that it is really fun because you get to build things while learning how to work together. For example, we built skimmers, which are flying paper airplane.
We also have a retired teacher, Mr. Label, who teaches us new ways to play piano that we practice a lot.
When asked why they enjoyed being part of a band, one of my classmates said, "I like playing my instruments, the malaks, because I like how my fingers move on the instrument. I like meeting new people in class, and I like that it's not too hard also."
Mm-hmm. We have an aquaponics lab where we learn about growing food and special ecosystem, and once we got to have the fish nibble our fingers. We also ate carrots and pickles, but one of my favorite experience was Miss Rashida taught my small group how to cook Burmese food for our annual culture fair. It was so delicious.
When asked about participation in student council, one of my classmates explained that I enjoy that we can help our school out and speak up for our classes. For example, we have a Gaga pit for the kids to be able to play during recess, and it's now one of their favorite games to play.
This school year, we have a new media club that documents and produces 2 shows per week in our new media room.
This one is fun. Regarding after-school sports, which are coached by volunteer parents, one student said, "I like being able to skip work at home because I am in sports. Also, it's fun because you get to run a lot. I like the competition of soccer."
And the list goes on with the orchestra, drumline, world drumming, ballet at Milwaukee Ballet, Mad Hot Dance, with trained coaching from dance work, Battle of the Books, all which are electives for extra opportunities to grow and shine.
Now we move on to our school grounds. We have a beautiful school building, although we don't have air conditioning. Hint, hint to you, school board members. We have a gorgeous space to live and learn. As an art school, we value sharing our collective art in our displays instead of putting them into storages.
Our rooms have been refreshed. Most classrooms have newer furniture that doesn't wobble and have graffiti on it. We also have teachers who put a lot of time, effort, and money into their classrooms for short-term arts integrated projects to long-term school year environments. Last week, we had our Arts Integrated Showcase, and here are some of the highlights.
We have a beautiful courtyard that is kept up by our building engineers and agriculture group. Classes are invited to go out there and use the inspiring space to write, read, create art. One of my favorite memories is when we played I Spy and read books in natural.
We're lucky that in other schools, some people can't talk out loud, and that in the cafeteria that our school let us talk to our friends and eat and smile. So,
Our library is amazing. I have never left my weekly visit disappointed. Our collections are updating every year, and we have so many graphic novel to check out.
We have a fun and large playground at Parkside with zones for basketball, kickball, football, soccer, gaga ball, foursquare, made-up games, sitting and talking area, and the tot lot. In the winter, we even have teachers bringing out sleds for sled races.
Miss Heller is expecting us to also talk about our academics at Parkside School.
I love coming to school, so I will speak first. In Miss Bertrand Leduc's class, I get to do PBL every day to learn about science and social studies while working on projects that I get to read about and write about. My favorite PBL this year is that we get to save the egg from cracking. We have to build something for it.
Thanks, Salima. I would like to add that in 8th grade, we get Miss Ryan as our math teacher. Because of her license, we have algebra classes in addition to our 8th grade math lessons. Thank you, Miss Ryan, for preparing us for high school and beyond.
I will wait to take algebra when I am in high school, but I want to tell you about the extra support I get in both math and reading. We have some great teachers who retired recently and have returned to Parkside to teach. I get to meet with Mr. Veronic and Ms. Glucker each week to improve my math skills and reading skill. I enjoy my time with them because it is small group and we work at my level and focus. I feel more comfortable because of the work I do with them.
Well, while we are talking about retired teachers, I want to add that having science lab with Miss Porter is fun and exciting because we make things like microwavable chocolate with a shoe box.
Talking about science. The science fair with Miss White and 7th and 8th grade is unforgettable and challenging.
I love math with Mr. Grethausen and now with Ms. Pagorsh. They make math challenging and fun with a lots of practice to get better and better. We just finished an art integration project where we solved problems and then we got black paper and with colored pencils we draw the design, then we glued it together and added the statement for the hexagon. It was fun because we were doing our own design and coloring it.
Do field trip count as academics? Huh? Well, we have a lot. I can tell you about them, but it will take too long. And that's it. It's so embarrassing.
All these opportunities, beautiful space, and academics would be meaningless if it weren't for the community we have at Parkside School. At last count, we are representing 10 zip codes, 23 languages, and a wide range of socioeconomic levels. We cater to students with all kinds of learning needs, and we are proud of our neurodiverse students' abilities to regulate in our specialized auxiliary gym and our sensory room. Our active PTO makes sure we have an amazing before and after school events like movie nights and special breakfasts.
I'm pleased to say that over and over again, students talked about teachers caring for them and making learning fun. It is the care and dedication of my colleagues to our students that is unmatched. It ranges from applying mindfulness and community time into the daily schedule, giving academic choices for students to guide their own learning, and recognizing our respectful, responsible, and safe behaviors through activities planned by our PBIS committee.
We know our time is up and you have an agenda to get back to, but we would all have to take advantage of this time in front of you to also quickly thank you for supporting our school and everything we have illustrated above. Thank you for your service to our experience at Milwaukee Parkside School of the Arts.
Madam Chair and members of the committee, that concludes our presentation, but I would also ask all of the principals that are here from the East Region to please stand, be recognized as well. All principals from the East Region. Thank you for being here.
Well, thank you very much for that presentation. I hope the students, yep, they're still here. Thank you. You did a wonderful job. And I saw how you were encouraging each other, which really is a demonstration of all that you're learning at your school. So thank you so much. You brought a lot of joy to this meeting, as did the students who spoke to us on the stage. Do committee members wish to make comments or ask any questions? Director Leonard.
No questions, just thank you very much. Heartfelt welcome. It's a challenge to be up here at times and to have you all come in here and really show what we are really all about. For those of us that have been in the classroom, I know what that's about. I appreciate you taking the extra time out. I know that you probably prefer to be home right now, relaxing and enjoying the good weather, but I do thank you and keep up the great work. And Mr. Sanchez, you have actually raised the bar, so from now on we're going to be looking forward to all of our regions coming in with presentations.
I agree. Any other comments or questions from members of the committee? No, well, thank you so much for the lovely presentation. It really was a joy to have the students and hear all about your lovely schools. So thank you so much. And thank everybody who came for your time. All right, Madam Secretary, next item, please.
The next item is item 2, action on resolution 2324R-006 on menstrual equity in schools, sponsored by Director Zombor. The recommendation is that the board adopt resolution 2324R-006 with the recommended revisions as attached.
Thank you. Would administration please present the item?
Madam Chair and members of the committee, this evening, the administration recommends Resolution 2324R-006 be adopted with the recommended changes as attached. I have with me Jennifer Mims-Howell to share the recommended changes with you. Following Jennifer's sharing of the changes, we'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Jennifer?
Thank you, Dr. Posley. Chair Zombor, members of the committee, Jennifer Mims-Howell, Chief Academic Officer. In December, Director Zombor met with members of the Office of Finance as well as the Office of Academics. In reviewing the resolution, we determined that Milwaukee Public Schools would be able to pilot this program. The pilot program would include menstrual supplies being brought to Milwaukee Public School students, making them available, as well as education around menstrual equity. In looking at the cost of the program, Milwaukee Public Schools decided that we needed to seek a grant for the pilot. Therefore, administration does recommend that the board adopt this resolution 2324R-006 by Directors Zombor and Gogo Gandhi as redlined in the revision, adding a budget cycle to be adding that we bring back an update on our progress before the budget cycle of October. We're open for any questions you may have.
Thank you so much. Director Zombor is the author of this resolution. Would you care to speak about it?
Thank you, Chair Seamson. So I do want to thank Director Gokul Gandhi for co-sponsoring with me. This resolution was actually inspired by a group of High School of the Arts students. During the school board campaign, they were interviewing school board candidates, and this was a question, they asked if school board members would support menstrual products in bathrooms, and it was an easy yes for me. And so this is the first step to hopefully making that a reality. We know that 75% of MPS students are economically disadvantaged. Menstrual health products are not covered by public health or nutrition benefit programs. Research shows that having these products in school can increase attendance, support physical and mental health. It also mitigates the financial burden and ensures that students have access to products they may not have at home. Even though we know our school nurses work really hard and other staff work really hard to ensure that our offices are stocked with these products, students may not always be able to access them without asking an adult, and there's kind of a stigma and stress associated with that. So by putting these products directly in bathrooms, it can make them more accessible. So the goal of this resolution would be to conduct a pilot program in one high school, hopefully High School of the Arts, placing free products in at least 50% of the school bathrooms and any gender neutral bathrooms. It also asks that a student survey be conducted before the program and after, just so that the board can have the data needed as it makes any decisions if this were to be expanded before the 25-26 budget cycle. There is also an item that would ask the Office of Board Governance to add lobbying for free menstrual hygiene products in all Wisconsin high schools to our legislative agenda. And I would be happy to answer any other questions you might have about the resolution.
Thank you very much for that overview. Do committee members wish to make comments or ask questions? Madam Secretary, do we have any public members of the public who wish to make comments?
We had no speaker slips for this item, Madam Chair.
All right, wonderful. What is the pleasure of the committee with regard to this item?
I move that we approve this item.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, will you please call the roll?
If I may get clarification on the motion, is it to adopt the resolution with the
yes.
amendments proposed by the administration?
Yes.
Thank
Yes, it is. Thank you.
Okay. On the motion by Director Leonard to adopt the resolution with the proposed amendments recommended by the administration. Director Zombor.
Aye.
Director Leonard.
Aye.
Director Seamson.
Aye.
That's 3 ayes. The motion passes.
Madam Secretary, next item, please.
The next item is item 3, action on a request to amend the contract for behavioral reassignment seats for the 2024-25 school year with Banner Prep. The recommendation is that the board approve the amended contract for behavioral reassignment seats for the 2024-25 school year with Banner Prep.
Would administration please present this item?
Madam Chair and members of the committee, we are asking for your approval of this contract for behavior reassignment seats with Banner Prep for the 24-25 school year. I have with me Bridget Schock, Director of Contract School Services, to provide details on this item, after which we'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you may have. Bridget.
Thank you. Good evening, Chair Simpson, members of the committee. Bridget Schock, Director of Contract School Services. So the item before you is a request to amend the contract with Banner. In February, the board approved the one-year contracts for the 24-25 school year for the behavior reassignment seats, and these provide a continuum of service for students who have been centrally assigned through a hearing process. On April 30th, we received notification of Southeastern's decision to not continue with their partnership for the 24-25 school year, and their contract was for 85 seats in grades 6 through 8. So as a result, we are requesting that Banner contract be amended to include these additional seats, 85, so they'll run a 6 through 12 program for a total of 210 seats. We are prepared to work collaboratively with them, and they are working, can work with Southeastern staff so that there's a continuation of staff as well for students who've been reassigned. At this time, I can answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you. Do committee members wish to make comments or ask questions? Director Leonard.
Sorry. So one, I guess two questions. So Southeastern is just simply no longer going to be in this business at all, if I'm understanding that correctly.
Administration.
Yep. Chair Simpson, Director Leonard, Bridget Schock, Director of Contracted School Services. That is correct.
Okay.
Follow-up, Director Leonard.
Just one more follow-up. And I guess so Banner's going to pick up a significant number of students. Do they have the places to do that, or are they taking over part of Southeastern's building, or I'm just curious.
Administration.
Yeah, Chair Simpson, Director Leonard, Bridget Schock, Director of Contracted School Services. They're going to stay where they are. So their building is 3 floors. So they have arranged to have a middle school on one level. There's some shared things that Banner offers. One related to, it's called Ripple Effects, which is their behavioral curriculum that currently their high school students receive, that we're hoping their middle school students can also receive. And they also offer art, so some of those like general overlap electives that the middle school students can have, and then the high school classes will be on another floor. So they're going to try to keep them as separate as possible. But their building is big enough, and there's a gym, which is good.
Thank you.
Any other questions? All right. Madam Secretary, do any members of the public wish to make comments?
We have no request to speak on this item, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Well, then I think we are, whoops, sorry, I did not check the script. We don't need to, yes, we do need a motion. What is the pleasure of the committee with regard to this item? Director Leonard?
Thank you. So I move we accept the changes to the amendment for to go from Southeastern to Banner Prep to increase their seats and take on that role.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
On the motion by Director Leonard to approve the administration's recommendations relative to amendments to the contract for behavioral reassignment seats with Banner Prep, Director Zombor.
Aye.
Director Leonard.
Aye.
Director Simpson.
Aye.
That's 3 ayes. The motion passes.
Thank you very much. Madam Secretary, next item, please.
The next item is item 4, action on the approval of the selection of textbooks and instructional materials for ESL and mathematics K through 12. The recommendation is that the board approve the selection of the textbooks and instructional materials for adoption beginning the 2024-25 school year as detailed in this item, and begin the contract negotiations and implementation processes as specified, including related supplementary materials such as teacher manuals, resource guides, translations, and online resources.
Thank you. Administration, would you please present this item?
Madam Chair and members of the committee, the textbook study for mathematics and ESL was approved on October 26th of 2023 and now is complete. This evening, we are asking your approval for the recommendation of textbooks adopted before you. The team is here with me and ready to answer any additional questions that you may have in regards of textbooks.
Do committee members wish to make comments or ask questions? I see Director Leonard.
So this is all math, correct?
Administration.
These are all math textbooks.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, Director Leonard, Renee Laird, Adelon District Library Media Specialist. This is K-12 math and also ESL, English as a Second Language.
Any follow-up, Director Leonard?
Yes, so I did see that. And I see the difference in, so there's only $500,000 for the ESL. Am I understanding that correctly?
Administration.
Madam Chair, members of the committee, Renee Laird, Adelon District Library Media Specialist. Yes, so $500,000 for ESL.
And I guess I'm wondering, is that sufficient? I'm sort of it is okay.
Yes.
I'm not sure, and I've been asking questions about it. I'm sort of not surprised. I know that getting this material has cost us quite a bit of money, and I've actually asked some questions already regarding that. And at first, I was actually opposed to this initially because of the cost with all of our budget cuts, but we do need them. I do know that the ESL and bilingual departments told me we really need to have that for us for sure. One question I have: how many publishers did we look at for this program?
Administration.
Chair Kingston and members of the committee. For the committee, Sarah Borges, ESL curriculum specialist. We looked at 3 publishers for ESL high school. This is a high school adoption.
Okay.
Grades 9 through 12.
Any follow-up, Director Leonard?
No, I'm good. I'm good. Thank you.
Great, wonderful. Do we have any members of the public who wish to make comments on this item?
Madam Chair, we do have one individual on the virtual platform. So we'll switch it over, and then when I call your name, please state your name, spell your last name, and give your comments. Quentin Claybon.
Hey, just checking mic.
We hear you.
Hey, Claybon, Quentin Claybon, K-L-A-B-O-N. I just wanted the board and administration to share conversations they have had about how much explicit instruction is used in iReady and illustrative math. We know that 65% of students in the district scored below basic in mathematics at last count. You all are the experts, but I know some high-performing urban schools in Milwaukee and other cities facing similar challenges believe their students are served best by curriculum like Great Minds, Eureka Squared, with lots of direct explicit instruction, especially around number sense. So I'm concerned that the word problem heaviness and necessary decoding of iReady, as well as the conceptual and explorative nature of illustrative, will be lost on the majority of students since they are already behind. I hope everyone present could discuss how effectively these curricula will build basic skills, as well as why they recommended more exploratory curricula. Additionally, I wondered what feedback you received from the community and just the overall process, if you could share that with the public. Additionally, if possible, I hoped you could speak to the reading curriculum rollout and training, since reading success will unlock math success. When Mississippi did its reading reforms, they became a top 3 state in reading with Florida and Massachusetts, but also became a top 3 state in mathematics. There has not been an update since August, and I think big new curricula purchases demand more regular updates in the first couple of years, with the costs being noted previously. Additionally, if Act 20's reading reforms go into effect next year and everyone's not up to speed, if we're behind in some sense, rolling out math on top of that could be a lot for staff to handle. So, yep, one more time, just how effectively will the curricula build basic skills and why those were picked over, why more exploratory curricula were picked, the kind of the feedback process for this, and then just how reading is going. Thank you.
Thank you. I guess if anyone from administration would like to respond, if we could stick to maybe the math portion of the caller's question, maybe around the reason this, what were some of the things that really drew us to this particular curriculum, some of the highlights?
Director Simpson and members of the committee, Melissa Hedges, Mathematics Curriculum Specialist.
I'll take a moment to share with you some of the comments that we gathered from our committee members that served on the selection committee. We had a broad committee. We had broad committee membership from 24 different schools and multiple programs that participated in the adoption process for kindergarten to grade 12. Specifically for committee satisfaction regarding the iReady mathematics materials, which were selected for adoption for kindergarten to grade 5. The most prominent pieces that the committee members agreed upon that they thought would be beneficial for all students is a multi-day lesson plan, allowing more time to focus on deep teaching and learning of mathematics, developmentally and appropriate sound treatment of our mathematics standards, specific supports for addressing unfinished learning from previous years, multiple very productive mathematical models and representations that would support student learning, as well as career connections and really wonderful cultural relevance pieces that fit into the materials. The other part that they really enjoyed were the teacher supports for helping children talk about and express their mathematical thinking and learning.
Thank you for that, for sharing some of those highlights and some of the reasons why this particular curriculum kind of stood out from the rest. Any other questions from members of the committee? All right, seeing none, what is the pleasure of the committee with respect to this item? Director Zombor?
I move approval of the administration's recommendation on the selection of textbooks for ESL and mathematics.
Madam Secretary, will you please call the roll?
On the motion by Director Zombor to approve the administration's recommendations, Director Zombor.
Aye.
Director Leonard.
Aye.
Director Simpson.
Aye.
That's 3 ayes. The motion passes.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, next item, please.
The next item is item 5, a report with possible action regarding the implementation of the personal finance course. This is an informational item. Although it has been noticed for possible action, no action is required.
Would administration please present this item?
Madam Chair and members of the committee, this evening I have with me Eric Radomski to present out on the financial literacy and give an update on the progress of our financial literacy course. Following the presentation, we'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have. Eric?
Thank you, Dr. Pohl.
For the listening audience, we are just taking a moment, trying to get our PowerPoint presentation ready. There it is.
My name is Eric Radomski, Manager of Career and Technical Education. I'm here to share the latest personal finance course update. Of our 5 district priorities, our work of implementing the personal finance course supports 2 of the priorities, developing our staff and increasing academic achievement and accountability. Every traditional high school and MPS is now offering the personal finance course. This year, we have 28 teachers teaching the course. Combined, they have taken 621 hours of professional development to teach the course this year alone. That is an average of over 22 hours of PD per teacher. 12 of our teachers received the Distinguished Educator Award from Next Gen Personal Finance, who provides our curriculum. To earn that award, teachers must pass at least 6 certification courses, each of which is 10 hours of instruction, plus a 1-hour end-of-course timed exam on different personal finance topics. We have increased enrollment from 2,500 students to 3,700 students from last year to this year, a 48% increase. The pass rate for the course has also improved from 76% to 83% in the past year, a 9.2% improvement. Our course meets the requirements of the new state law signed by Governor Evers in December, which mandates that all students earn at least 1 semester of personal financial literacy, starting with the class of 2028. And now here's a short video that gives a view into one of the personal finance classes at Bayview High School. This segment aired on Fox 6 last month during National Financial Literacy Month.
April's National Financial Literacy Month, and there are big changes ahead for how Wisconsin students learn about money. Brett Lemoyne takes us into the classroom in this month's Fox 6 Cents.
Okay, so I'm ready to go. Are you guys ready to go?
In Tyler Podol's classroom,
I do show my credit report. I show my investment portfolio.
he is the lesson.
They need to understand where money will come from, how credit cards work, how debt works in their life.
Podol is a personal finance teacher at Milwaukee's Bayview High School.
I think this is as helpful as it would be for your age as well.
He tries to make the course relatable to students by sharing his personal finances with the class.
What do they know before they walk through the door?
The general knowledge they have, it's great. It's a sponge. They want more of it. They ask a lot of questions.
Hate the debt. Podol has been teaching this semester-long course for 3 years. That's around the same time Milwaukee Public Schools made it a requirement for students.
It's a really good age because students are just starting to get jobs and learn how to, read their paycheck stubs and do their taxes on their own. That retirement is what you're saving for the future.
Marty Diaz is the financial literacy teacher mentor for MPS.
They want our students to be able to compete worldwide and in their communities. And so this is a social justice issue, and we want to make sure that our students have what they need to be successful.
Start with logging in and go to MoneyPath.
When MPS implemented its personal finance course, Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers said it was one of only 12 urban school districts in the country to put the requirement in place without a state mandate. That changed late last year when Evers signed Wisconsin Act 60 into law. It requires all high school students to take a half-credit personal finance course, starting with the class of 2028.
He's helped me see a lot of stuff and helped me learn a lot of stuff.
Bayview High School junior Quantavious Stokes has a lot of questions for guest speaker Vincent Wallace Haygood with the group Secure Futures. Wallace Haygood is presenting Ballin' on a Budget to help kids plan for things they want, like new sneakers or phones, and things they need, like an apartment and groceries.
He's very understanding. Hearing from somebody that came from the same city I came from, grew up probably in the same household I grew up in. So it's just seeing something like that is probably inspirational to other kids.
Secure Futures finds 1 in 4 students nationwide have access to a personal finance course, but the number drops among African American and Latino students to 1 in 14.
It's a very big issue, right? The wealth gap. And we know that if that isn't closed, that there's going to be disadvantages for the students that we work with.
MPS hopes the financial knowledge gained in the classroom is shared when students go home. Diaz encourages them to start a comfortable conversation with parents or guardians about home finances. Talk about what you each know about credit scores and savings. Diaz says students should learn from the mistakes and successes of others in the community. What tips do your parents or local business owners have to help you gain financial empowerment? Podol says that education will stick with you.
All right. There are 3 ways that our teachers receive professional development. One is through certification courses. The certification courses are a way for teachers to deepen their content knowledge and gain confidence in teaching across the 12 personal finance units in the course. We ask that teachers complete at least 2 of the 10-hour certification courses per year. A second way to gain professional development is through on-demand modules, which provide teachers with engagement strategies, including videos, articles, quizzes, and hot topics in finance. There are almost 60 of these self-paced on-demand modules, each taking about 1 hour to complete. And once per month, all personal finance teachers are invited to work collaboratively with other personal finance teachers across the district in a professional learning community led by Marty Diaz. The PLCs have focused on refining the curriculum, getting feedback about the curriculum from other next-gen personal finance teachers around the country, and hearing from some of our partners like Educators Credit Union, Secure Futures, and EverFi. As far as events and engagement strategies go, we hosted 2 family financial workshops this year. The first workshop was at Riverside University High School. That workshop included partners from Bank On, Department of Financial Institutions, Educators Credit Union, and U.S. Bank. The topics covered were building credit, applying for FAFSA, saving for college, and paying taxes. The second workshop was virtual and was held during Financial Literacy Month in April, and it focused on retirement, budgeting, and banking. Our students participated in the Finance and Investment Challenge Bowl tournament at Manpower Group back in March. Students from 18 high schools competed in 2 separate tournaments over a 2-day period. Rufus King and Ronald Reagan were the champions and qualified for the state championships in Madison that took place last week. Because Rufus King's team members had IB exams, second-place team Alliance High School took their place. 572 second-semester personal finance students attended Reality Check Day at UW-Milwaukee, an event coordinated through a partnership with Educators Credit Union. Students enjoyed a 90-minute interactive event that taught them how to manage a family budget in a simulated real-world environment. Students gained more knowledge about planning for their future, financial futures. And finally, our students did well in the stock market game this year. We had teams from 16 high schools participate in the statewide competition, with several teams placing in the top 100. For the 2024-2025 school year, we will continue to provide support to all personal finance teachers in the classroom by offering curriculum and providing professional development. Our focus for next year will be on bringing more projects and cases into the curriculum and providing the PD to do that. Project-based learning is an effective educational approach that allows students to gain knowledge and skills through hands-on, real-world projects. We will offer training for teachers to help them integrate core financial topics into project-based lessons. In addition, Marty Diaz will work with teachers to establish partnerships with financial institutions and other professional partners to provide their perspectives as guest speakers in the classroom and assist students with projects. Additionally, Marty will continue to encourage parental involvement by offering resources and workshops that are of high interest to families in support of their children's learning in the classroom. And that concludes the personal finance update. I'd be happy to take any questions you might have.
Thank you so much for that update. Do committee members wish to make comments or ask questions? Director Leonard?
Will we be fully staffed with regards to any possible budget cuts that are coming up in the upcoming school year?
Administration.
Madam Chair and members of the committee, are you referring to in the personal finance class?
Just the personal finance, yeah.
Chair Simpson, Director Leonard, there are no cuts that I'm aware of the current personal finance teaching staff that we have.
Any follow-up, Director Leonard?
No, thank you, thank you.
Madam Secretary, do any members of the public wish to make comments?
Madam Chair, we had no request to speak on this item.
All right. Any further discussion? All right, thank you so much for that update. Very important for our families. Madam Secretary, next item, please.
Madam Chair, that was the last item on tonight's agenda.
Madam Secretary, I believe there is an item number 6.
I apologize. Item 6, I'm sorry, is action on a resolution 2425R-3 by Director Carr on the piloting of innovative instructional models for District 4's Washington High School and North Division High School. The recommendation is that the resolution be placed on file.
Would administration please present this item?
Madam Chair and members of the committee, this evening we have before you Resolution 2425R-003. The administration recommends this resolution be placed on file. Thank you.
Do committee members wish to make comments or ask questions? Madam Secretary, is there any public comment on this item?
We had no request to speak on this item, Madam Chair.
Thank you. What is the pleasure of the committee with regard to this item? Director Zambor.
Thank you, Chair Simpson. I move that we accept the administration's recommendation to put this resolution on file.
Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll?
On Director Zombor's motion to approve the administration's recommendation and place the resolution on file. Director Zombor.
Aye.
Director Leonard.
Aye.
Chair Simpson.
Aye.
That's 4 ayes. The motion passes.
Thank you. Madam Secretary, next item, please.
Madam Chair, that was the last item on tonight's agenda.
Thank you. There being no further business before the committee, this meeting is adjourned.